see. All those plans I made for myself, I got nobody else to lean on.
Welcome to everyone joining us to experience stories of resilience, hope, perseverance, and joy.
Move over to a sport chair, basketball wheelchair.
Category of Best Video are...
We love you guys.
You're watching America Trends. I'm Burt Godwin. We have Rebecca Cafiero zooming in. She is a business and PR strategist, founder of the Pitch Club, TEDx speaker, author, podcast host, all sorts of things, and just all around amazing gal. Before the break, Rebecca, we were talking about getting back to basics for some of these business owners and entrepreneurs who might be a little bit trepidatious going in the business world right now because there's so much unknown and, interest rates and inflation and all the things. So, we were talking about getting back to basics. And one of the things on your list here was talking about testimonials and reviews. And I wanted to touch on that because I think that's a really key, those are huge for business owners to get good, solid testimonials.
They're huge. It doesn't matter what the size of the business is. There's such a power in testimonials, and testimonials come from happy customers, whether that's reviews or feedback that really communicates the value and the experience that customers can expect in the product or the service. And as praise, they're more valuable than well-written marketing copy. So especially for those of you out there that are solopreneurs or you're looking for ways to save money, focus on those testimonials. But something that's really important to know is that 90% of people read a review or a testimonial before they make a purchasing decision. So even if you've got the best website copy ever, if you're not focusing on testimonials on every page of your website, on your social media, like anywhere that you want to show social proof, you're making a big mistake. And again, it costs you nothing to fix it.
So what are some of the tips on ways in which to, let's say, a business, let's say a hotel or something, gets a great review on one of the websites, or, even through their customer survey that they send out, their NPS survey. What are some of the places that people can utilize those, repurpose those testimonials?
Well, one is important to know, where is the business getting them? So some businesses are going to get them on Yelp, some are on Google Review. So if you are getting a testimonial, it's really easy to ask that customer, thank you so much. One, validate it, right? Let them know how much you appreciate it. And then ask them to put it on the other platforms where it's going to create traction for your business. So I've used so many different contractors that are on both Yelp and Google Review. And I know to leave it on both, but if they get one, just sending an email, again, saying thank you and saying, by the way, would you mind leaving it over here? Is really effective. And then, of course, the website. So every single page of your website should have testimonials, not only the praise page or not only the front page, but every single page. You're just reminding that prospect or that potential customer why you're a good decision, right? And again, in times of economic uncertainty or downturn, people really vote with their dollars. So they're going to be much more careful about where they're spending their money. And that testimonial is going to help them feel better about making the decision to, use your products or services. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and on the website is a genius, and there's so much real estate on the website. It doesn't have to be, like you said, a whole section dedicated to it. It can just be interspersed throughout the website in a column, in the sidebar, a little picture with even one little quote, right? And that could link out maybe to somewhere else where the whole review is written, but at least get one quote in there. And the more touch points you have with that, I feel like the better, right?
I mean, your email marketing, your social media, your blog, there's so many different places to feature it. And the thing to understand with testimonials is testimonials help that prospective client see their potential journey that will happen for them, right? So it's very different than just saying, hey, we're great, or we've won these awards. They're actually seeing themselves through the eyes of a customer that has had a great experience. But it is really important to get impactful testimonials. And I personally feel like many companies miss the mark on this because they're reaching out for those testimonials after the client has had the experience. So when you get a email or a request to fill something out a month later, one, you're less likely to do it because we're busy people. But the second is you're not in state, right? And so if you think about being in state, right? If somebody is delivering you a service and you are so excited about it, that's the time to capture the testimonial.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are in service space, like right there when they're going, oh my goodness, this is changing my life, or, it affected my health, or I just, doubled my monthly income, like that is a testimonial right there.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a timely thing. And I know I'm trying to do them more myself, reviews, because I know how much I utilize them and I know how important they are to businesses. And so I feel like it's a win-win the more people that write reviews and realistic reviews, because that's another time it's hard to sift through. Is this just the friend wrote this testimonial? I think that Yelp and those kind of platforms actually are good at weeding those out, right?
They are. And also, if you only have a few reviews, it's easy. Like if you see someone's got 4 or 5 star reviews, you're like, well, is that their mom, their neighbor, their wife? But if they've got 50, you're like, all right, they may not have that many friends that are going to go leave them a review. But the other thing, just from a business focus, is to understand that if you are focused on getting great testimonials, you're inherently focused on delivering a great client experience that deserves a great testimonial. So the testimonial is the result, but it really is about optimizing the process that leads to it.
Right. Okay, I want to talk about something else on your page here that is 90-degree pivots. So you may not need to actually change everything that you're thinking or all the things you're doing, but what's a small little 90-degree pivot?
Sure. So one of my clients was a personal trainer, a nutrition expert, and she pivoted early on in the pandemic. And a 90 degree is like, okay, or a 180 degree is like, we're going to totally change things. Something's not working. Let's throw the baby out with the bathwater. And she just decided, I am not going to work with, at the time she was training men, and she's like, I don't know if this is really what I want to focus on now that I'm changing a little bit my focus. So instead of completely saying, I'm going to do something very different, she changed to still doing nutrition and movement, but focusing on hormone balancing. And why that's so important is by niching into something that, one, she was passionate about, and then secondly, that she was able to get unbelievable results. She more than 10x'd the income of her business over the next 2 years. And it wasn't a huge shift, right? She didn't leave nutrition, she didn't leave movement, but she just changed a little bit about who she served and how she served them. Well,
niching down is a great tip, I think, for everybody, because, you really get focused people that really, are really going to keep coming back if you deliver good services or quality products. But you have that audience and you really can speak to them, and people are always looking for things that are specific to what they need.
Because if you're a generalist instead of a specialist, you're lost in the noise, right? And I like to say that if you're a specialist, you're like a lighthouse. Your light is out there and it's creating certainty, and people want certainty, right? Certainty is sexy. And if you can't create certainty that your product or service will get the transformation that they need, if you're trying to speak to everyone, you'll end up speaking to no one.
I totally agree. Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for being here again. And I hope you'll come back again in a few months. Few weeks, maybe even. Let's have you back next week. I love it. So people can find you at RebeccaCafiero.com and at Rebecca Cafiero on all social media platforms, I think, right?
I'll see you there.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you so much for joining us, and everyone home, stick around. We've got more America Trends right after this quick break.